Hello everyone, welcome to Edu Bureau. I am Bhavna Kapoor. Today's topic is India South Korea relations. Despite numerous bilateral agreements between India and South Korea, the relationship has not been able to move to next level. Now, some of the facts regarding the relationship. Korean Buddhist monk Hayok or Hong Jiao visited India from 723 to 729 AD and wrote travelogue Pilgrimage to the Five Kingdoms of India, which gives a vivid account of Indian culture, politics, and society. Nobel laureate Rabindranath Tagore has composed a short but evocative poem, Lamp of the East, in 1929 about Korea's glorious past and its promising bright future. Now, a brief history of India South Korea relation I would like to mention about. During the Korean War 1950 to 53, India has played a major role in ceasefire agreement signed between both the warring sides, and the ceasefire was declared on 27th of June 1953. The relationship did not move much till 1990s due to South Korea's closeness to US and India either following non-alignment movement or under Russian influence. The economic relation between India and South Korea grew after economic reforms in India, which led to the signing of Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement in 2010. Relationships between India and South Korea were raised to the level of strategic partnership in January 2010 and upgraded to strategic partnership in 2015. India has a major role to play in South Korea's southern policy, under which Korea is looking to expand relations beyond its immediate region. Similarly, South Korea is a major player in India's Act East policy, which is very important in our foreign policy, under which aims to promote economic cooperation, cultural ties, and develop strategic relationship with countries in the Asia Pacific. Now, what are the challenges pertaining to the bilateral relationship between India and South Korea? Let's talk about that. First, stagnation in economic relationship. The economic partnership is struck at just $22 billion annually, and also the defense partnership appears to have receded from great all-round promise to the mere sale and purchase of weapon systems. Second, cultural prejudices on both sides preventing people to people ties. Cold War era perception, there may be widespread perception among South Koreans of Indian as a third world country rife with poverty and hunger. Then we talk about Indian diaspora. Within South Korea, the integration of Indians in the local population is far from complete, with some instances of racial prejudice or discrimination towards Indians. Next comes inadequate acknowledgement of Korean culture. To a certain extent, Indians are unable to distinguish between the cultural and social characteristics of South Koreans from that of Japanese or Chinese, which does not, give a very positive view of India. All these stands in the way of relationship based on openness, curiosity, and warmth. Next point is unfulfilled potential of cultural centers. Indian Cultural Center was established in Seoul 10 years ago to promote people to people contacts. However, ICC has to reach an exponentially wider audience and its focus has to expand beyond the urban English speaking elite of Seoul. The same may be applicable to South Korean culture centers in India. Now, what are the shared values of democracy between the two nations? Now, let me just talk about this in this way. One of the most unexplored areas of cooperation to strengthen the relationship between India and South Korea is democracy. A fundamental shortcoming of democracy in Asia is the lack of government to government cooperation on promoting democratic values. Further, in Asia, India and South Korea as democracy shares common values and have been above convergent interest in the region. As middle power democracies in Asia, where there are growing and collective threat from authoritarian China, democracy building and cooperation can be a critical platform. Now, the region which is already experiencing the evolution of a democratic bloc in the name of Indo Pacific Quadrilateral involving India, Japan, Australia, and the US needs the support of other middle powers such as South Korea and Indonesia. Thus, there is a need of serious thinking and deliberation among various stakeholders representing South Korea and India. Now, talking about the shared commonality in Swachh Bharat and the New Village movement. Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, launched in 2014, aims to stop open defecation and draw basic attention to sanitation and public health for overall development. Although the initiative has emerged as national awareness movement, it continues to struggle with the lack of resources. It is in this regard that the country can learn from the experience of South Korea, especially its Samyeol Undong or New Village movement. The New Village movement, launched in 1970, encourages self help and volunteerism for households and schools to clean up their neighborhoods. The movement has had a significant impact on improving several sectors of the economy apart from rural health and livelihoods. Now, next is Bollywood, K pop, and Korean cuisine. For years, many aspects of Korean culture have emerged as a critical point of consumption among various states in India's northeast. Besides, there has also been a growing fondness of Indian Bollywood films in South Korea. Films, music, cuisines, among other cultural affinities, have a huge potential to drive and deepen people to people relations and can act as a bridge between India and South Korea. It needs more. Now, what could be the other areas of cooperation between the two countries? India and South Korea can cooperate on fighting global issues or challenges, climate change, freedom of navigation, internet governance, and outer space. Apart from it, the two countries can develop synergies on SDGs, trade agreement, and connectivity norms. Also, there is a need for more openness between the think tanks or NGOs or networks of scholars or activists of the two countries. Promoting institutions like the Indian Culture Center will also be a step in the right direction. Now, what could be the way forward? As the balance of power in the region continues to shift fast, India and South Korea may need each other like never before to protect their ways of life. However, both countries will be able to help each other only if they can fill the cultural gaps. With this, I end my today's video. Thank you and take care.